welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode 203. Get used to not owning your games. With me, George, and this week joined by Bobby and RGT, the people who own everything, to my I don't even own the air in my lungs. How's it going, gentlemen?
Very well, thank you.
Bobby, give us a slice of New York life. What's the most outrageous thing you saw on your way around the city this week?
On the train going to work, I think it was on Tuesday, a older woman was pushing an adult man, regular mentality adult man, not like special needs, just a regular adult man in a shopping cart on the train with a boombox. And it was
I thought my drive into the UCP UK office was bizarre, but this is next level.
Wow.
No, subway stories are a real thing. It's unbelievable.
So she's an elderly woman.
It's 6:30 in the morning.
In the morning? Oh, okay.
And
what was on the boombox?
Some rap song. I never heard of it, which is also odd. But it's 6:30. I'm a little late for work, so I usually get the 6:15 because I try to get to work a little earlier. But I heard music when the doors open, but I had my headphones on, so I thought it was like a car below the station. And I'm like, that is so loud. And then I get into my normal car because in New York, in New Yorkers, we go to the same spot every time because that's just our area. So when you see weird people around you, like, why are you in my seat? You know what I mean? Even though it's not your seat. So I get in there. And I should have known, because if you go in New York City and the car is empty, something's wrong. Either it's AC's broken, heat's broken, or it smells like crap, right? So you don't go in there. But I went in there, and this dude was just sitting in a shopping cart with another woman pushing him with a boombox on his lap, playing hardcore hip-hop. I'm like, what song is this? I tried to Shazam it. Doesn't even exist. I don't know if it's his own mix. I don't know what it was. Super loud, bro. Then
he weren't just using it as an amp. He weren't actually rapping while lying in the car.
Yeah, I know. It's just it was weird. And then no one got in. And then one person I recognized got in, and he went to the next car. And 3 stops later, the cop took them out. So I guess they called the police, and the police waited for the train to get to a stop, and then they were there, and they just took them out. And they did the cops. There was no interaction. They just looked at each other, and then the cop grabbed the shopping cart while he was in there and pushed him out of the train onto the platform. And the doors and it took off. So, I mean, it's probably not their first time getting in trouble for this, but, that's New York City. 6:30 on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't top that in any way. Wonderful. That's what I love about the subway stories, Bobby. They're incredible. I suppose we ought to round this out. I feel like I haven't seen you in a hot minute, Bobby. RGT's been living in the shoebox at the foot of my bed. It's very bizarre. But he's done worse, right? He's done worse. So let's get the gaming on the go here. What have you been playing, Bobby? You sweet, lovely man. Now Diablo's off the table, we can open up the menu a little bit. What you been playing? And if you say Callisto Protocol, I'm gonna.
Oh no. So I don't know. Last time I mentioned it, but I beat Achilles. I did until I got the platinum for that. Not bad game. It was decent. But I had a bunch of stuff on my list that I bought that was like, to me, didn't feel like long AAA games. Just like maybe indie games. So I had Cookie Cutter, which I thought was great. Very Metrovania style. Really enjoyed it. Cuckoo Charles was just dumb.
You hyped that up on the American Office Takeover episode, though.
I did. I wanted to play it. I had it on my list for last Halloween. When it comes out, I want to try it. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's stupid. Did I enjoy it? I mean, it was okay. It was like mid-table. Nothing too crazy. I had Infliction, which was a horror game. Kind of creepy, but not nothing like Nothing like Resident Evil 7 creepy, but it was all right. Um, and apparently I didn't know, but in my own mind, I'm a huge fan of Puppet Combo. They make a bunch of like low res horror games, which I didn't even know was the same people.
What, the 1-bit, 8-bit style, or
No, like PS1 type low res graphics like that. PS1 type
interesting.
of style. So I had this game called Blood Wash, which was about a killer in an apartment building, and you had to avoid him. And wasn't the creepiest thing, but when you see something like low res run at your face, and it looks, like remember like Max Payne graphics with just this blockhead in the face. That's how these games look.
Oh wow,
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
What
so it
was
was
that
all right.
called?
I mean, what the game?
Yeah,
Oh, Blood Wash.
that's a setting on my Interset.
It's the same company that made like Christmas Massacre, Nun Massacre, all that other stuff. So I played that. It was all right. I enjoyed it, maybe because it brought back a little nostalgia, I guess. I don't know. Then I played another horror game called Mothered, which was kind of creepy. So it's hard not to give the story away, but you're just a young kid trying to figure out why your mom looks like a 1970s floor model from Sears.
I thought you were going to say floor mop. I was like, oh wow.
Oh no, like Sears or Macy's, like back in the day, the models that had like the weird faces. That's your mom looks like that. It's kind of creepy.
Like Mannequin, the movie Mannequin.
A mannequin. Yeah, but not as good looking. And then I'm playing Nun Massacre, which is you're in a church school, and there's a church, and there's like a yard. The game is not, I wouldn't say that long, but there's loops. So if you die, you start again. So it's like trial and error. I'll tell you what though, nothing has scared me more than this low res son of a gun just turned up behind me when I turn around, and this, oh man, dude, I jumped off my chair. That was good. This even if you're playing on the lowest volume, I don't know if Puppet Combo just said there is no volume. It's the max volume on any setting, because it was so loud that.
What, louder than the Boone theme tune for RGT?
Loud, bro. I'm talking about, it makes a weird sound, like a screaming sound. So you get nervous because you hear something, and you hear the sound. The sound direction is very good. So you hear like click, 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 like she's running at you and you're trying to run away from her. You don't know where she is, but she could be hiding in a room. She could pull you from under the bed. She could also hide in a closet. And she's roaming the school randomly. But any noise you make, I guess it's like an AI detection. You keep making too much noise, she'll run at you. And then your TV, your camera distorts like old VHS lines, scan lines. I mean, the whole game looks like a whole old type of game like that. But that really uses like, oh man, she's near, so kind of hide. But sometimes you think she's gone, and then you come out the door and she's just waiting for you. And the sound it makes when you see her, bro, took me off my chair. I mean, I love this game. So I'm gonna try to beat it maybe this week. But I have a bunch of other horror games that I'm gonna try to knock out, I guess. It's the most horror games I played back to back in quite some time, so it's pretty good.
Cool. Talking about knocking one out, RGT, what have you been playing?
Wow, what an introduction. I've started Halo 2 again, but this time on the Series X on the Master Chief Collection, because I just bought a Hyperkin 360 controller to use for now while my Xbox Series X controller is fixed. But yeah, I've been loving that. So I should hopefully have that done soon. No, it's a third time playing, but I'm loving that. And also, the only other game I've played this week is Dredge, which is absolutely brilliant game. Absolutely.
You finally jumped on as King of the Indies. Yeah, how is Dredge?
You're right. Yeah, you seem a bit
every time I see Bobby laughing, I laugh.
I thought that. Yeah, there was just two people disappeared on my screen then. Yeah, Dredge is. I don't know what it is about the game. I mean, I know people think it's a fishing game, which it technically is, but if I'd had to describe this, I'd say this game is perfectly balanced for what it is. So there's quite a lot of things you can do in there, but it's not outstaying us welcome. There's upgrades and bits you can do, but they're not too out of reach, and you haven't got to grind. You've got various little story routes, which are very good and interesting and take you to different parts of the map. It's got the spooky side for when you go out at night and all the weird things start happening and sea monsters come after you. So it is quite creepy. And it's just so addictive. It's got that. I said to someone the other day, it sounds weird. I would compare it in a way to Stardew Valley, where you earn money and you want to upgrade, and you've got that incentive to keep getting better and getting more bits and pieces. But it's a lot more reduced than Stardew Valley. It's really easy to upgrade. You can upgrade your tiers and you get these research parts, and then you can use different fishing rods for different areas. You can obviously dredge, as they say in the thing, and dredge and get gold and then sell it to different sellers on different islands. Graphics are really nice. The controls are brilliant. It's just like controlling an RC boat. It's like you would use an RC controller, and it's so smooth. And especially when you upgrade the engines on the boat and you can get anywhere on the map really quick. So addictive. I can't recommend this game enough. Absolutely brilliant, especially for what price it is at the minute as well. So it's basically just those two I've been playing. I've been addicted.
What console are you playing that on?
PS5.
It's not a game you'd recommend to take on the go then, or no?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon, from what the game is, I mean, it must run, because he's on the Switch, isn't it? Yeah, he's on the Switch, Dred.
It is.
Yeah, there won't be no performance issues there at all. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, either a Switch version, PS5 version, whatever version you're on, Xbox. Brilliant. I'd definitely give it a go. I mean, I'm about 11 hours in, and I think you can complete it in about 9, but I've fully upgraded my boat now, and I'm just finishing off some of the storylines on different islands of people I've met. But yeah, really good. Absolutely enjoy. I can't recommend it enough. So yeah, I'll give it a go if you've got it.
Okay.
But yeah, just those two for me. So what about you, George? Anno?
Pull up a pew. It's one of those moments.
Right, here we go. Where you go, son?
So stumbled across this really amazing game, Ubisoft. Okay, it's like a real-time strategy city builder type game. It's set in sort of like the 1800s.
Oh, I heard about this.
No, I haven't played any Anno.
Wow.
But I've dabbled with Assassin's Creed Syndicate again and reminded myself why, as much as I should love that game, the setting...
Is that the London one?
The history, yeah, all of it, I despise it.
Really? Was it a bit broken, or...?
It's not even that. It's just that... So by then, it really feels like that series of Assassin's Creed style has really outstayed its welcome for me.
I really wish they went back to 3.
I do.
I mean, my God, that was amazing.
That what? Talk to me, brother.
Now
everything about that game was amazing.
Like Valhalla, I just couldn't not. Like, I beat the game, but the DLC, I was like, I don't care.
Well, I even dabbled with Valhalla and reminded myself why I kind of fell off with that as well.
Yeah, I don't want to even play another Assassin's Creed again.
I mean, Mirage has gone back somewhat to it, but it's, from what
don't come in here selling your dirty Assassin's Creed wares.
No, I'm just,
Don't sell me the knockoff T-shirts with the hoodie top to it. Don't come at me with that.
No, it's just there is just something missing there with it. I just don't know what it looks stunning. Mirage really does look stunning, and it is a bit of a nod back to the old Assassin's Creeds. But I don't know. It's just something
I know what's wrong with it.
Right with it.
It's like a redheaded robot with no soul. That's what happens. The soul's gone.
Wow, yeah. He's not wrong.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. To bring the soul back, I've been playing Last Guardian also.
Oh.
Which I've actually been really enjoying. It's a bit obtuse and
yeah,
playing it on PS5 certainly a more interesting solution than playing it on PS4 Pro. I know there's not been a patch, but everything just seems to work a lot nicer. It's a little bit smoother and it's a little bit. I don't know if it's the frame SSD
rate
or
what.
The
frame rate was a bit.
The frame rate is relatively stable most of the time. That game was a bit broken when it launched, and to this day, it probably still continues to be so. But the enjoyment factor is really good. I was doing something the other day where a bridge was collapsing and I had no choice but to run off the end. And it caught me at the very last minute in its mouth.
No.
And I was like, wow, that was great. Then we're on another bridge and it starts collapsing. So we'll go to do the same thing and it misses with its mouth. And just at the last second, its tail swooshes through. So I pressed the grab button and I grabbed it.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, this is amazing. It then began to climb the side of this wall. Now, I don't know what G-forces one would expect on the end of a cat's tail, especially a massive one that's 2 stories high or a story high. But you'd think there'd be probably somewhere approaching 9 to 10 G. This tail also got slapped off the wall several times while this kid's holding onto it. His grip strength is phenomenal, this kid. I tell you what, he went on the QVC Home Shopping Network and he bought one of those grip trainers. And he's got forearms and knuckles.
Ripped.
Like Jeff Capes' body. It's unbelievable. But the game, yeah, it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying playing through that. I'm also working my way through Alan Wake Remastered, because I'm going to dive into 2 and I want the story to be fresh. I've always quite enjoyed this. I've got Assassin's Creed wide in my mouth and I don't like that feeling. I've always enjoyed Alan Wake. When it launched as a 360 exclusive, it was fantastic. Playing it again last year, maybe or the year before on PS5, equally as good. Playing it again, just great. The way the episodes end and you get that tune, it's always well chosen. It's nice. It looks a bit tired in places. I'm looking forward to playing 2. And I've also been dabbling with some Wrestling Empire, but to bring us bang up to date, I've been playing The Last of Us 2 Remastered. I think that's what they call it. I mean, not too much of a visual upgrade, if I'm honest with you, but just an excuse to play it through again. Is really wonderful. Enjoying it. I'm going through this time round. I think I rushed it when I first played it because we wanted to talk about it on the show, and then I played it again probably last year at some point in time, maybe, or the year before. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Playing it again this time round, just taking my time, going everywhere, getting all the trading cards, just letting it flow. And there's so much dialogue that I missed, just interstitial dialogue between the 2 characters as you're kind of roaming around, that I never really noticed before or had the option to play through. So that's really good.
What are the upgrades like? Do you have big noticeable upgrades on the PS5?
Well, you know me, I want 4K, so I play that at 30 frames per second because that's the option, even on a PlayStation 4 game. You'd think would be 60 ray tracing 4K, the whole bag of tricks, but I think this gen we've been lied to pretty strongly, but we'll let that slide. Visual upgrade's nice. I think didn't really notice any pop in, especially on sort of the foliage, things like that. So that made a bit of a difference compared to the first time I played it. It was only marginal anyway. I think there is like a 60 FPS frame choice, but I think you got to knock it right down on the resolution. And I thought, nah, I'm not doing that. I played this 30 FPS. It was 30 FPS when it launched. It can be 30 FPS down, look a little bit prettier. Has it stopped me in my enjoyment of it? Absolutely not. As I say, yeah, thoroughly.
But it's a good upgrade, though. You find the upgrades?
I haven't dabbled in the other side of it, to be honest with you. And I also got my greasy mitts confession. I feel like if I confess these things now, almost like, in a priest booth or something like that, it makes less of an issue for me going forward. I can plant my dirty laundry here and walk forward unashamed by it, really. So on the PlayStation website, you can get the WLF edition. Okay, physical copy, steelbook or something like that, some patches and some trading cards. Well, I've got that. And Elliot, breathe a sigh of relief. It will remain sealed because I also took the £10 upgrade path on my digital copy of Last of Us Part 2. Why not? Because I got Last of Us Part 2 for $8.99 in the sale some time ago. And then the extra $10 to upgrade that to the PS5 version, fine, I'll do it. And it means that one can stay sacrosanct.
Yeah, good idea. Brilliant.
I've said Oh, you're rewarding me for this behaviour when you
No,
should be
I think, yeah.
chastising me for this behaviour.
Oh, well, no, that's the collector side of me coming out. I think it's, I'd have probably done the same thing.
Are
to be
there
honest.
any other elements of you that come out? Maybe darker, seedier elements, or is this as dark and seedy as it gets?
I can be as dark and seedy as you want me to be.
Ooh, okay. So like grapes are
mean
quite
like
dark,
now.
aren't they? See, maybe like a seeded grape.
Yeah, that's about the limit.
Dark and seedy as you like. Maybe about a grape. Yeah, that's me maxed out. That is George. Unbelievable. What an edgy character you are. Oh, before we launch, no, do I do this now or do I do this after the news in its rightful place? Or do I do it now and put a little bit of fanfare on it? This is a surprise for you, RGT.
No.
What we'd like to say is, for some time at the bottom of each episode that you download or listen to on Spotify or iTunes, there's a link at the bottom that says support the show. Now, we don't advocate you go there and go crazy, but if you want to get on board of something that I would call an early adopter program, and we're working that out now, so sometime between now and next month, that will be closed, and you will get something way better. Going forward, we're going to try and put some intimate content out for you guys. Maybe, access to the merch, stuff like that. So, yeah, now would be the time to show your sort of love, get on board, click the link, put your details in, recurring monthly thing, spend less on this show, okay, a month than you do on that high-priced, probably 90% of the time, badly made coffee that you pick up. And you think, you get halfway down, you think, well, it's warm and wet, but is it worth a $5? No. Is this show? Maybe. I'm not here to advocate value. Even if you only wanted to pay $3. Don't forget, though, however generous you are, our podcast host probably takes about 90% of it. So whatever you want to get through to us, you might have to put a little bit more extra love behind it so we can see it. But yeah, as we always say, the show will be free, always. But if you want to jump on board and we start putting something together over the next calendar month of what we're going to give to the early adopters and then what anybody recurring from there will get going forward, get on board with it. It's not Patreon. It's through the podcasting host. So it's a little bit more private, a little bit more discreet. Probably even put in there like a little Discord area for you, locked behind that. Maybe I might even come down out the trees a bit more regular. Although I can't promise anything because I can barely get this show out on a weekly basis. There's absolutely no guarantee I can find my way into a locked Discord forum. I tell you that now. But I'll give it my best college try. And if not, maybe an AI bot pretending to be me, the infamous Lord Ponsonbury of the forum, may end up being repurposed as me. I'm thinking that's a good idea. I begged Boba for an achievement that only I could have. He hasn't come back to me. One must wonder I've probably wielded too much power and he's ignoring me for that reason. Although, to be said, he was having a shindig in Norwich, Suffolk's finest capital town.
Sorry?
Norfolk, capital of Suffolk.
Wow.
Or if they've got Norfolk, have you got Suffolk?
No.
Norwich. Sawrich.
Norfolk. Yeah, it's not Suffolk. My God.
In Lincolnshire, we put it on the tin. The capital city is Lincoln. No messing about.
Mm-hmm.
Norfolk is Norwich. Suffolk's is Sawrich, or is it what's your capital town?
Ipswich.
Ipswich. For anyone that thinks, what's that noise? I've been joined this episode by my cat. I don't know why, but he's decided to make this area his little home. And he purrs very loudly, like an underfed tiger. And he meows.
Is that Adam?
Adam the cat. Yeah,
Adam,
you got it. Yeah. He devoured his kitten partner, Eve, probably 3 weeks into his life. Makes that a bit awkward, but, there you go. Anyway, they turned up for what I think people call, hey, guys, what do you think about this whole support the show rigmarole? Are you going to subscribe?
Yes.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You're doing it? Bobby,
Add it to the
doing
list
it?
of subscriptions. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Mm.
It's less than Netflix, and we probably
It
put
is.
out more content.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Legal, Mumsy, 10-year-old lawyer.
We put out
Can I
more
say
content than Netflix.
We got to put out more
What's
content.
steady?
Say what I want, do what I want. That's what I love about you, Mumsy. Best lawyer I ever had. Yeah, we can say that.
Great idea. Yeah, yeah, brilliant idea.
Okay. And what's the early adopter program going to contain? Exclusive T-shirt,
Yeah, exclusive T-shirt.
blankety blank checkbook and pen, aka early adopter fridge magnet.
Yeah, we could do fridge magnets. We could do T-shirts. We could do
Something else. And as people got a little sniff of yesterday, the meet and greet, maybe if we get enough early adopters, we can do an exclusive meet and greet.
Definitely.
Sort something out along those lines. We'll get there. Going forward, I think we'll have some premium content. Maybe a way for people who want to subscribe. We'll see people who want to have a little bit of a deeper journey on the UCP. They can come in, and maybe Bobby can tell them about that pot noodle he had. Maybe I'll do a show about something embarrassing that happened to me during my childhood, like wetting my pants at 12. RGT sort of thing you could do. Maybe hidden gems, or where are the hidden gems? So a lot of people message me, say, I want to hear the Boone theme tune. And then you're like, it's once a month, but I don't know.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie, Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinay's, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
Thanks for bringing this up. Yeah, I'll be doing them at the end of each month. I popped on Discord the other day just because, as obviously as you just said about support the show and that, we've got a lot going on behind the scenes, so it is getting hard to get one out every week. But I will do one at the end of each month for the foreseeable future.
Do you find it hard to get one out every week, or what's going on there? Is it a time thing?
Yeah, it can be tricky getting one out every week. It's easier for me just to put all my efforts into getting one out once a month.
And
Wow,
make a
you
good
need
one,
to up your
know?
roughage. That's dangerous.
Well, I mean, quality over quantity, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to make sure you have, enough drip.
Yes.
And to be fair, we've been a content powerhouse. That's why Mumsy was confident I could say the things I said.
Yeah, I mean, what we know, 201 shows. So there's a lot.
Is it 201 or is this 202? Because I'm confused now.
I think it's 202.
Is it 202?
203? No.
It's over 200.
I don't know anymore. Whatever I said in the
speaking.
preamble might be wrong. The podcast host will probably say to me, George, no, mate, you've numbered this wrong.
No, it's 202, isn't it? Sorry. It's 202.
Is it 202?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think
yeah,
I introed this episode as 203. Community corrections, win yourself a free subscription to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, just count all the shows. Let us know, would you please?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, you can rely on us for absolutely nothing, seemingly. So cancel all your subscriptions and, yeah. Are you ready for some news, men? Because I feel quite sort of revved up and newsy. I've got the pork pie hat on. I've got whatever it is written on the piece of paper in the brow, and I'm ready to dish the dirt on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yes, go.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I do the intro or not?
No.
Do you want me to do
No.
the intro?
Oh,
Yes, it's part of the show, man.
Yeah, you got
Part of the law, is it? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. It's time for the
course.
news to scour the very darkest reaches of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, you own nothing. Sounds like my ex-wife. Ubisoft directors.
Wow.
I can laugh about it now. If the kids are listening, it was a joke. You.
Yeah. Edit that.
Not the best episode to drive for that subscription matrix, if I'm being honest with you. George, you should work in sales. I don't reckon I should, actually. Ubisoft's director of subscriptions. Oh, that's awkward. God. Okay. You know what? I might cut this story. This has got bad optics, to be fair. Let's just go for it. Ubisoft's director of subscriptions, Felipe Tremblay, has suggested gamers will soon need to feel comfortable about not owning the games they play as they come bundled within a subscription service, speaking in an interview with gamesindustry.biz. If they can get famous, we can, surely, with a name like that. About a new tier for Ubisoft Plus, Tremblay likens the process to your old DVD and CD collections being replaced by streaming services such as Spotify and Netflix. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games, he explained. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They've got to get comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. Tremblay goes on to point out that you don't lose your process or engagement with the game despite the lack of video game ownership, so it's all about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. I still have 2 boxes of DVDs. I definitely understand the game's perspective with that, he adds, but as more people embrace that model, you'll see that these games will exist, the service will continue, and you'll be able to access them when you feel like. That's reassuring. The amount of membership services on offer has indeed grown dramatically over the past 5 or so years, and many are being embraced. For example, Ubisoft Plus now has millions of users signed up, according to Tremblay. Yeah, really. However, it's been noted how subscription fatigue is beginning to set in as spending on the likes of PS Plus and Xbox Games Pass plateaus. Sony has stopped reporting how many users subscribe to PS Plus, but when it was, the count seemed to cap out at around 50 million. Of course, games also leave subscription services, so you can lose access as a result of a deal expiring, or the company choosing to withdraw access. Perhaps there's a limit on how many people accept Tremblay's vision. What are your thoughts? Chime in on the Discord, and don't forget, if you subscribe to this show and download the episodes, you keep them forever. Okay? Here's my free pass to you right now. It's okay, Mumsy. I'm going to let him cash this check. 2050? Fine. Download and keep. Men, I've always been a bit nervous about this, but I am what you would call a pre-Neanderthal man. And I like to, big boy like to own big thing. Okay? But is it right in the future that we will live in soulless white boxes, not owning anything, and just streaming what we fancy when we fancy it? Let me aim that to you, first of all, Bobby Boy.
No, because it's ridiculous, to be honest. If you want to stream, that's fine. You want to go digital, that's fine. That's up to you. But there's no, I don't, it's never really going to be yours. Because I had Marvel Ultimate, this is just one game I could think of, top of my head. I had Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, and I had the DLC that came with it. And now I don't have access to the DLC anymore. It's taken away. Can't download it back. So even though I bought it, I don't have access to it. Right. So, and this is what I was trying to say, like many years ago. Netflix had all these movies, and it was going good, and then all the other companies were like, "Wait a minute, why am I paying Netflix to play my movies when I make my own company to play my own movies?" Now you have Prime, Hulu, Max. I mean, it's endless. Amazon jumped in. So it's never really yours to watch. And then when you want to watch it, you either have to rent it or no one's streaming it. So how are you going to get it? The video stores are closed, so you can't get a video, can't get a DVD. And now games are going that way too, where they don't want to even sell physical copies anymore. So not only is it bad for gaming, it's also bad for like game preservation.
Yeah.
So like Mike Rouse was saying, how are you supposed to play these games if no one's allowing you to play them? Or, besides doing it illegally, I guess. But I just think it's ridiculous.
Well, I've seen a lot of memes actually on that note, Bobby, that says if I need to get used to not owning games and therefore I own nothing, is piracy now a crime? Is piracy now not a crime?
Yeah, I mean that's what's going to happen, right? If you can't get it, I mean, it's like if people can't get it legally, they're going to get it illegally. So that's just never going to.
That's true about everything.
That's always going to happen.
Eyebrow waxing, if that was illegal, I'd have to go low key, maybe get dead babs and some candle wax.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things illegal you can get in New York City. That's illegal. So it's not going to change. It's not going to stop anyone from doing it. I just don't understand why they think this is acceptable, especially if I'm paying for it.
No, it does seem strange. RGT, has Deb's Babs ever come at you with a candle wax?
Many a time. I've on this. I mean, I think if all games go that way, you feel like you're sort of being bottlenecked into having to play games this way rather than having a choice. Do you know what I mean? I know there is Netflix and bits and pieces out there, but you can still buy DVDs, you can still buy movies, and if they end up just doing games literally as live service or digital or one way only, you're sort of backed into that corner. It's going to be the only way to play. But on the other hand, I think they're all trying to go that way. It is going to go that way, I think, and it just seems such a shame. You all know me, I'm a physical collector. I like the games. I love having the games and bits and pieces, and it does take that bit of shine off for me. But I'm a minority now. Is most people now, or especially new gamers, are they digital only now? Do you know what I mean? Is it just going to be stream?
Well, they're digital only, but are they buying them digitally or are they obtaining them on various subscription services? Depends, I suppose, on what format you play on. I would say most PlayStation users, even if they've got Essential, Premium, whatever it is, they've got games they own digitally. Mm-hmm. Are we to assume if this continuous march goes on, there'll be a separation?
Yeah, but if you have Premium, right, and then next year don't want to pay for it, what happens to the game?
They go.
So I have to keep paying for it to play it. So how much would that game be worth over time if I keep paying the yearly subscription, where I could just buy it once for $10 and it's mine?
Or wait for it to get in a sale, or wait for the console to die and it's 50 cents, 50p, whatever it is. You find it in the thrift store, they're giving them away.
See, like, I'm not a collector, right? So like me and RGT are different. Like, I have a huge collection of video games because I buy what I want to play, and then that just becomes part of my collection. But I don't go looking for games that I played in the past because I really don't care, because I have probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of emulated games that I have that I'm fine with, but that's me, right? But on the flip side, if you are a collector and you do want to go get that old Sega game, where you supposed to go get that now? Because a lot of mom and pop shops are closing. So, for example, Best Buy is no longer selling physical copies of anything. And CDs, DVDs, and video games are going to be not sold in the store. So then I have to either go online or go to other mom and pop shops to collect things. But if you're no longer giving the people the option to go buy and seek things, and that it's digital only, then it's never really going to be ever yours. If something ever happens, like your internet goes down or something happens with the licensing, now what? It's like, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. So for me, I don't like not having an option.
Yeah, I agree on that, definitely.
Is Tremblay wrong and he's barking up the wrong tree, or is this like the industry's warning sign to us all to not get used to owning anything?
No matter what is going to happen, right? It's like when they do, like, for example, they do a fare hike in the MTA for New York, right? They just have all this public forums, then they complain about it, but it's already done. So they just have a meeting for you to complain about it. They listen to you, they don't listen to you, but they listen to you, and they do it anyway. And they have another one, they raise it up again, and you complain about it, and they're going to do it anyway. So you don't have a choice.
If the industry wants to go that way, that'll go that way. You either jump on for the ride, or you
that's it. Yeah, or you stop playing. It's just never going to change. So if this is what they're going to do moving forward, it's just going to happen over time, and then you don't have an option. You can't make a company make a physical game. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
Okay.
And then if you don't want to buy it or stream it or own, then okay, somebody else will.
Yeah, I think the industry is going to march on, and it's going to leave sort of dinosaurs, specifically like me and RGT, way behind. But it's certainly going to remove ownership as a choice for you, which I think is a shame. Let's hope that we're talking about 2060's problem and not 2025. RGT, do you prefer grass or AstroTurf?
Depends what mood I'm in, really.
Okay. What's this next bit of news?
I've never smoked AstroTurf. 2K Sports quietly announced a new entry in its Topspin series of tennis games yesterday, titled Topspin 2K25. It will be the series' first new tennis sim in about 13 years. Currently, the main source of information is the above teaser trailer, which features a mix of gameplay and cinematics rendered in game engine. From what little we can glean, it looks like this could be a tennis game for our industrious editor.
Do you like tennis games?
Yeah, I used to play Topspin series, actually.
That's why this is here for you.
Yeah, I do like tennis games. I think the last one I tried, what was that one they done recently? The tour one. Was it the tour one? I couldn't get on with that. But this, the Topspin series, I used to like that. No, quite good fun games. It's nice they're coming back. It's nice to see companies go back to old games and give it a go. What about you? Do you ever play tennis games?
Does Pong count?
Yeah.
Virtua Tennis, does that count?
Oh, Virtua Tennis, yeah. That's the daddy of tennis.
And this
games.
Topspin series, what was that one on Xbox?
Yeah, that was the one Digital Monkery gave to me. And Elliot, yes, it is still sealed Topspin, yeah.
Was that Topspin?
Yeah, Topspin, yeah. Yeah.
Obviously need more details.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Like I say, I definitely need a new tennis game. I've sort of got a bit washed out with golf games, like the older golf games. But yeah, going into a new series of Topspin could be good. Be nice to see some of the other companies go back to their old IPs, sports-wise, and bring some of the games back.
And Hangar 13, I do believe that's where Sir Mike Rouse worked previously.
Yeah, that was.
They're making this. Are you excited? Are you moist?
I don't know if I'd say moist, but yeah, I'm definitely interested.
Sweaty?
Yeah, definitely.
Bobby? Love 16, baby. Are you into tennis games or no?
Absolutely not.
Oh, crikey. Okay. Well, if Bobby expresses this distaste with fewer letters. When you're onto a sore point, if you get that. If it had been no, it would have been he's seriously disgusted. But definitely not means he'll play it at gunpoint. I thought obviously in the Discord there seems to be, I get this wave of this clamoring of talk about tennis games, and I feel like this could be an interesting development. I'd like to see you pull on your shorts, RGT, probably squat down and give it the full PE teacher and show us a couple of eggs. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm all in.
Okay. Bobby, it looks like I was late up this morning. See, this last bit of news, you're going to have to make your own headline and then read the news as you see it.
My own headline. Based off this, another old game comes back.
Nice.
Here we go.
While you do this, I'm just going to have to take my pussy outside for some pussy mints, but I'll be back ASAP.
Wow. Alrighty. Well, if you're a Quake fan, you might have heard some rumors about possible return. Well, now in an update, it seems a new entry has been teased. Xbox developer direct this week. A brief scene during the Machine Games, Indiana Jones, and the Great Circle gameplay revealed a featured whiteboard with the Quake logo and what appears to reference Quake 6. While it's not much, it's still exciting to know that there might be a new game in the famous first-person shooter series in the pipeline. Machine Games is known for its work for the modern Wolfenstein games, including titles like Wolfenstein Youngblood and Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Bethesda and ID Software Doom Eternal have also revealed Quake's earlier games in recent years, including their first title in 2021 and Quake 2 last August, which might be another hint at something bigger is on the way.
Wow, I've never really been into the old first-person shooters, but I know Doom was so popular and still is, isn't it? Doom is.
Yeah, Doom is. I mean, I really like Doom when I first played it. I like Quake when I first played it. Haven't played any of the modern Dooms or Quakes, but I do like a good first-person shooter.
Because I think the new thing now is that's what they call them boomer shooters, don't they? That's that old style first-person shooter. It's all sort of coming back, isn't it? So I know there's a few of those on the Switch. But yeah, I think there'll be a lot of Quake fans who'll be interested in this.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it, even when your cat's bowl is full, they come around you like they've never been fed, and then you think, right, fine, you finally relent, you go to the bowl, and it's full?
I don't know.
How often do you feed your cat?
Maybe too often.
Maybe it's fussy.
How much does your cat weigh?
A lot. He's a big boy.
So my cat is, I have two cats. But one of them, Ragnar, is very tall, very long, weighs about 21 pounds. He's like a puma, actually, in my house. So I feed him exactly what the can tells him he should be eating, which is 1 can in the morning, 1 can at night.
What are you talking? A can the size of a Coke can, or
no? A can, the big can, the regular. I don't know, what is it? 5.5 ounce. That's like a tuna can size.
Right.
Right. Okay. So
not the little, like a tuna sand. Yeah, tuna.
So that's can. A big cat.
Yeah. And then the girl Xena, she's like, I don't know, 8 pounds, 9 pounds. So she only gets half a can in the morning and the other half at night. If you don't feed them exactly when they think to be, it's time to eat, they will harass you endlessly until they want to eat. But if they've already been eaten and they come over to you, they probably just want to hug, or they'll be upset that their litter box is dirty.
I don't know how we got from Quake to feeding cats.
Well, because, it's just a question.
Well, I got interrupted, didn't I? Mid-show.
Yeah,
you think,
and I clean my litter box.
Show some respect.
Yeah.
Well,
I have two
the litter
cats,
box
so I try
is
to clean it.
because it's the whole of the outside, so it's all
perfect.
Sorted. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Even better. He just wants some love, He missed
his food bowl was full, but then I went to the food bowl and he was like, yeah, give me some more food. So put some food on top of my food, on top of my food, on top of that food, and I'll leave you alone for a bit.
For a bit.
On this news of Quake, quite interesting. Kind of be interested to see that come back. For me, I always felt like Quake didn't have quite the story behind it that Doom did. So it'd be interesting to see what a reboot this could get. Obviously, Wolfenstein incorporates storytelling into its very graphic design in the first game. You're a good guy fighting Nazis, or in the German episode or version of the game, unknown military-like figures. Everywhere else, got to kill Nazis, specifically German ones.
That's real?
Yeah, oh yeah. All Nazi imagery in Germany is banned. Our German listeners, of which there are many, may chime in and say yes or no, but I feel they're going to say yes. There's probably a fear that they might reawaken the party. I don't know what they're thinking, really. You'd think there'd be some strength in kind of reinforcing the message of not doing that again. But there you go. German listeners can let us know. I think there's specific laws created around that. So,
I guess that is true, because in America they're trying to remake North versus South. They're not calling it the Confederate Army.
What are they? My goodness, why not?
It's just the South.
Oh wow! And what's the Northern Army called?
United States of America.
Wow, that's how they go. Wow, okay, well, fair enough. That's the route they're going down. Who needs history? That probably draws us to the end of the news, gentlemen. Do you have any more to add to that? Anything that you've taken from it? Any news stories that you've seen through the week that piqued your interest that maybe I might have glossed over when compiling the news this week?
No, I think you've covered. I think the most interesting thing for me was the Ubisoft guy talking about the going digital. That was,
One question I've got for you there. Surely you should be propagating all this talk of digital because it means that your shed value will increase rather than decrease. They will become
I'm
almost
not
like
worried about
coveted.
value. Not worried about value. Not in it for value.
Is this what you said since Mike said it, or is this your own thoughts?
Wow. No, this is my own thoughts. I'm not in it for value. I'm more worried in the future because people who have nostalgia for digital only games or games that have been on a service, you know, it's going to be harder and harder to go back and replay that game. You know, you'll only have a memory of it because it's not going to be there, which is a shame, really, if that goes that route.
Do games live better in our memory than they do in our disk drives? Bobby?
Well, it depends on the game, I guess. You know, you can have a more memorable game or a memory of a game than actually, you know, remembering what it used to be, I guess, or how it was when you played it. It's the memory of the game when you first played it and the enjoyment you got out of it. If that makes sense.
It does. Looks like Eva's awake. Looks like she's going to be playing some either Stardew Valley or Disney Dreamlight. What do you think it's going to be?
100% Dreamlight.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the ongoing sort of shtick with that? Is she enjoying it? Are you enjoying it?
I don't. I mean, it's all right. I'd look at it sometimes. I have no interest in it. She does. After 185 hours, she's really in it to win it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's more than I spent on Anno.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking if Anno was like a game where there's you know, tasks and a checklist,
yeah,
she's in it. You know?
Interesting.
Oh, I need to get 500 wood today. Then she will get 500 wood and she'll make a building. If that's the task for the day.
Wow.
Never give up. Never surrender.
She's dedicated. She's pro
You know,
gamer.
Animal Crossing, she's maxed out. There's nothing to do. That's it. She technically, besides like the daily tasks, she's beaten the game.
How many hours has she put in Animal Crossing?
Oh man, like 800. That was during the COVID, so that I really needed that for my safety as well because there was really nothing for her to do, and she likes to actually work, and she likes getting tasks and you know like a day-to-day thing. So that really helped her because you know Animal Crossing is live. Like there's things to do each day, and once that's done, it's done. You know, Dreamlight Valley, yes, I think it's similar. But you could still do task-based quest all the time.
Well, it's time for the community corrections. Did we miss anything, or do you have an opinion or take on the news we missed? If so, Bobby, how would the collective masses get in contact with us and let us know that George, all this talk of your cat's disturbing? Don't want any more double entendres. In fact, we vote that you step into the shadows. We bring forth Seb, and the unholy trinity of Seb, RGT, and Bobby will run the show evermore going forward. We're kind of done with you, pal.
Well, they can reach us at questions. They can reach us at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. I said it slowly because some people think I say that way too fast. Or in the Instagram, they can find us Unofficial Controller Podcast. And then there's links to, you know, whatever else we have and, you know, the Discord if you want to join.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm probably going to fall foul of the first wave of cancel culture on the show. I'm happy to lay down for such a righteous occasion. RGT, do you have anything to bring forth from the community?
Well, apart from we done our meetup, which was actually yesterday as of date of recording this, which was really good. And like you say, when we were saying about the joining the show and subscription basis bits and pieces, I think it's something we should add because that was brilliant fun meeting some of the guys, meeting up again, and it's brilliant. It's a brilliant little thing to do from such a good community we've got on Discord.
We could even do a USA meet and greet. And to be honest, if such a thing was to be set up, if we had enough subscribers in some European countries, I would even jump on a plane and fly out there.
Yeah,
Admittedly, if it's one guy from Poland, a little bit stalkery, I'm going to be a bit nervous. But, you know, if you subscribe, I'll turn up.
Meet one guy in the woods in Poland.
Yeah, address, undisclosed address.
I
Where would you want me to
George.
be? Well, in the middle of that is a tarp-filled hole. If you just want to, about 6 foot deep. If you just want to lie in it, save us all a lot of trouble. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, no worries. Did you want a magnet?
About a shirt.
Yeah, cheers, thanks. Yeah, puts it on and then fills in the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bathroom hand towel.
Yeah, just
A
to say,
UCP hand towel.
yeah, just
It's
to
got
say,
Premier Inn crossed out with Sharpie.
Premier Inn. Yeah, just say, yeah.
Too
just
salubrious for
thanks-
you, RGT?
You know what?
thanks to the,
I don't know if you guys have this, but sometimes you can buy like undershirts or underwear or socks in some of the cheaper
Yes.
stores, and they're called slightly. They're not exactly stitched or sewed correctly. There might have been mistakes where, you know, one sleeve is like 6 inches, the other sleeve is like, you know, 10 inches long. It's just a mistake, but they sell them anyway for like discounted. We could probably sell discounted, messed up looking bathroom hand towels to dry your hands when you wash them.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. Get on it, Luigi. But yeah, just
We'll
want
have to make
just-
sure the printing's pretty good. If they get the sort of season 3 one, they're going to end up with like a face of a baby, going to look like Bobby, like a little cherub,
Yeah. It'd be cute though.
printing on their face. Permanent ink never coming off.
But yeah, just say thanks to the community. We've got a really good community, and it is so good meeting the guys from Discord, because you know it can be awkward when you meet people for the first time, but you don't feel like you've met them for the first time because you've been talking for
Well,
years,
one
for
thing
weeks,
I
for months
think
on the Discord.
one thing I pride myself on is I think once people come into the community, and they can come in as far as they want, or they can just put the tip in if they want, just sit on the edge and look at what people say on there, or they can come all the way in and be a full. And I like to think that it's a bit like a family, isn't it? Really?
Definitely.
People, you know, share things, support each other. I know there's lots of DMs going on. Lots of people have got individual friendships off the back of it. So yeah, you can either sit on the fringes and watch, or maybe come along to some of the meetups if you want to, or you can come all the way in and be one of those people that's, you know, deeply involved in the show's lore. All sorts of good stuff there. So yeah, we welcome anyone and everybody. And even if you don't want to get in the Discord, even if you just want to listen to the show, if you still want to contribute on a subscription, there will be, we will find some way of making sure you get access to some exclusive content as well. So however which way you want to play it, we'll look after you. RGT, it's been a while since I feel we've seen him. Obviously, we had the mighty M. Dickey on last week, which I'm very grateful for. And thank you again, Matt, for coming on. Fine Lincolnshire gentleman, very handsome. He's back on the scene, though. It's Ray. Have you heard any sort of shady reports about his activities over the last month or so?
I did hear he's trying to push out a lot of physical games, as there is this dubious new digital era arriving. So I have heard he's been loitering with a Bluebird boot full.
Now I've heard the opposite. He's
Really?
cottoned in to Mr. Tremblay's comments, and he's thinking to himself, so I could just drive around with a boot full of fresh air and charge people for the privilege. That's going to save me a lot of fuel.
Well, I did hear a bit of rumour he was selling digital codes, but they look as though he'd just written them on a Rizzler with a Sharpie. And so people were typing them in, and there's no game there. It's not even recognised. So
I unlocked a demo version of Angry Birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was pot luck, but who knows?
Yeah. Oh, wow. So some of them are genuine then.
Possibly by mistake.
It's a crapshoot.
You put enough monkeys in a room with a typewriter, and eventually they'll write you a page of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Put enough Rays with Sharpies on Rizzlers, and eventually you're going to be able to download a game on something.
Oh, bless Ray.
I think one of them got me horse armor on the 360
Oh, wow.
for Oblivion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, get ready because it's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingray's boot, what's nestled between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are new release highlights for the week, January 21st to January 28th, 2024. Listeners, these are out in digital or physical, or will be by the time this podcast in your feed, but could be. Oh, the line, Ray! Could be region dependent. Spring stop. Wow, whoa. I'm intrigued as an observer here. RGT, how are you seeing the Ray?
He's gone right old school for me today.
Okay.
The Bluebird is there. He's in
Right.
stonewashed, ripped denim jeans, slightly grease stained. He is wearing a pair of Velcro 80s trainers, no laces.
Ooh.
He's wearing like a lumberjack shirt with a denim ripped waistcoat over the top. And then he's just got this, he's got a lovely, beautiful moustache. And then just really long, all the way down to his buttocks, mullet.
Is it a soft, never shaved ever since pubescence and now has like almost like a very delicate, very fine moustache?
Yeah, almost fluff. Handlebar.
Is that all we're seeing? What about Wayne?
Can't see Wayne this week. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just seeing a bit of an image from him in the past before Wayne was actually conceived.
So he's come in his dad's bag?
It's not. Yeah.
Nice. Nice way to get about. Bobby, how are you seeing the Immortal Ray?
Well, first thing I saw was Wayne, and he looked
Right.
like Warwick Davis from Willow,
Right.
except the bottom half of him was pixelated out like a censored version of. Yeah, and the imagery of the censorship is very long, so I'm not sure what they're blocking, but it's longer than the actual his body. If that makes sense.
Wayne's blurred out lower section is longer than his actual body.
Yeah, which is
Wow.
strange. And then Ray looks like an albino version of Terrence Howard. Coochie Mang, come on, Mang. And that's what he's saying in the car, which is wild, extremely wild. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
they're doing. Yeah,
Well,
Right. Okay. Well, I'm seeing Ray.
Here we go. Get
It's
ready.
coalescing in front of my very eyes. I'm seeing Wayne. Okay. So I'm seeing Wayne. Wayne is appearing to me as the guy from the Bamboozle page on CFAX, but animated. I don't know what's happening there. And his father is our family's lost remote from 1984. He's got a penny stuck between a couple of his keys. And it looks like his battery's been taken.
Wow.
That's all I know.
That is the most obscure. That's almost a Salvador Dali Stingray.
Well, the lost family remote from the 80s has presented me this. It's Howl. I don't know how he did it. He's got no arms or opposable thumbs, but somehow he's passed me Howl on the PS5 and Xbox Series X, January 23rd, 2024. Howl is a turn-based tactical folktale set in medieval times. A sinister howling plague has ravished the land, turning all who hear it into feral beasts. You play a deaf heroine plunging into a danger in search of a cure. I don't know why, but my brain kind of had to reboot for a moment, and while it was loading, that's what happened. What's next, gents?
Enshrouded PC, January 24th, 2024. Yeah, I keep forgetting we're in 2024. You are Flameborn, last ember of hope of a dying race. Awaken, survive the terror of a corrupting fog, and reclaim the lost beauty of your kingdom. Venture into a vast world, vanquish punishing bosses, build grand halls, and forge your path in this co-op survival action RPG for up to 16 players. 16.
I only, we're gamers. We don't technically know that many, so it's a proper poke in the eye from the developer. That
Yeah, this is a weird week. Up next we have Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney trilogy. So there was 3 of these games. I've never
Believe
even
it or
heard
not.
of them at all. PC, PS4, and Xbox One and the Switch, January 25th. Join rookie attorney Apollo Justice and his mentor, the legendary Phoenix Wright, in this collection of 3 games. This title features 16 episodes, including previously DLC-only episodes. It supports English, French, German, Japanese, Korean, and traditional and simplified Chinese.
I never played an Ace Attorney game.
I probably never will.
Now's the time. Great taint game. Great taint.
Teeth in.
Well, here's a story. This week I had to have one of my wisdom teeth removed, and it almost feels like I'm having to learn to speak with a whole new mouth. The way my jaw sits is different. The way my teeth move around is different. I feel like I'm now speaking out of the mouth of someone who is not me.
That's strange.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is strange. Was it painful?
It was.
Oh,
It was painful.
I don't envy you.
They don't knock you out for that?
No, not a cat like me. I just grip onto the dentist chair and basically he puts his foot on your chest. He reaches in with some pliers and someone ties a little bit of rope round his waist onto the back of a tow bar on a Fiat Uno Turbo, and he basically
Bluebird.
bobs, whatever which way you want to call it, really floors it in the village. That pulls him really fast, and it pulls his hands really fast, and then it pulls the pliers that his hands are holding onto really fast, and it also pulls the tooth in the pliers that his hands are holding onto, then the rope that's holding onto him that's on the back of the Uno really fast, and pop comes straight out. Job done.
There it is.
So I wasn't knocked out. I was numbed. I know in America they do a lot of knocking out. It's almost like if you go in, you want to get a little bit sort of out of it at the same time. It's almost like a bonus payoff for your tooth.
100%.
Yeah, it's loads. You get loads of clips of people mumbling rubbish when they come out.
And the kind of doctor, numb it up. Numb it up, baby. Don't want to feel nothing.
Wow. Okay. Well, the come down from that seems to be actually most enjoyable. I'm going to take this. It's called Go Mecha Ball. If you believe the songs, it's something Hitler could have done with. Load up and roll out in this twin-stick shooter and roguelike progression. Blast your way through arcade-style levels using pinball-style physics mixed with an arsenal of devastating weapons. Defeat waves of enemy bots, battle big bosses, and upgrade your mech between runs. This is my mummy.
Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, January the 26th. 2 larger-than-life heroes, Ikuban Kasuga and Kazuma Kiru, are brought together by the hand of fate, or perhaps something more sinister. Live it up in Japan and explore all that Hawaii has to offer in an RPG adventure so big it spans the Pacific. I would imagine you're all over that, aren't you?
I'm a little bit behind on the Yakuza series, so I'm.
How many you got ahead of you to play then?
I've got the Judgments, which I am saving for a rainy day, and I've got the man who erased his name, and I've got the like a dragon, which I did start some time ago, and I didn't really. I know this is controversial, but I wasn't really vibing with the turn-based. It just didn't feel right. It felt wrong. But I've got that downloaded. So I'm going to get back on that, give it a go, because I love the games, and therefore, technically, ergo, I should love that. It's like being told that you're only cool if you like jazz. You've listened to enough of it, you may end up liking it. So I'm going to put myself through the mill, see what comes out at the back end. Bobby, what's this last shady-looking game you got here, friend?
It's Tekken 8.
Ooh.
That's it. January 5th. PC, PS5, Xbox Series X. Tekken 8. Same
January
as Tekken 7.
5th.
January 25th. 26th. January 26th. It's Tekken 8. Revolutionizing.
That's been in and out based on your readout more times than the leg in the hokey cokey, but either which way, it's here in the boot with us now. We'll take it. What's your mummy, gentlemen? Bobby, what's your mummy from that pile?
Really hard to say. But I guess Hal, because I'm interested in playing as a deaf character.
Yeah, I think that's for me.
Because my boy Adam was deaf growing up. And when he got mad at me, he would turn off his hearing aid. And he would speak to me like his hearing aid wasn't off. And I can recognize by the tone of his voice that it was off. And we used to argue in silent because I would relapse, he'd relapse.
Oh, no way.
And I would tell him, hey, man, your hearing aid's off. And he was like, no, it's not. I'm like, your tone. And then his mom would come in and tell him to put his hearing aid on. It was the best.
Even Mumsy knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going with that RGT. You're legally obliged not to pick that. So, unlike your hidden gems, you can't just copy what Marathon Gaming says. You've got to come up with something yourself.
Wow. Low blow. I'll go with Ace Attorney, as I haven't really played the games.
Okay. Fine. You didn't want to go with Go Mecha Ball?
No.
Okay, what's your... Okay, fine. I don't want to argue too hard here. What's your mummy out the back of the VHS pile? What are you going for, friend?
As I've been playing so much Dredge, I think I'll have to go with Perfect Storm, I think.
Okay, that's a good choice, actually. I like that. I think you've done well. I think you've picked something that deserves to be there. Bobby, what's your choice, friend?
I don't know. I've been feeling very English lately. So probably Monty's Python, one of them. And there can't go wrong, really.
Okay. Well, that actually segues into me really nicely. And anyone would think this was planned, but anyone who'd listened to this point knows it's not. So we're not fooling really anybody, apart from... No, not even Mumsy's confused or believe in any of this. I'm going to pick Blackadder, the complete series, going all in. Stumbled across it again recently, so it's nice that the Ray's got it in the boot. So we're going to try that, on a bit of a classic BBC comedy trip here. So it's quite enjoyable. Okay, Ray's gone. I look down on the floor, and all I can see is the battery that was missing, stuck to some tape, or possibly a damaged He-Man sticker, and a collection of my father's nether hairs.
And instead of the tire marks, it's just a bunch of pixelated, censored marks.
Wow, that's what you're seeing.
Don't know why.
Wow, I guess that's where your version of Wayne's John Thomas scraped as his dad hot-footed it down the drive.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with the Ray family gone, and what can only be described as probably the most fever dream-like episode I've ever partaken in, that's probably due to lack of sleep. Riding around Seattle feeling like I'm a woman extracting revenge on another woman that I play as, who's extracting revenge on her for revenge of that. Spoilers for a 10-year-old game. RGT, what are you hoping to play?
Be more Dredge, get that finished. Try and get my third playthrough of Halo 2 done and get up to Halo 3. But I've got such a backlog at the moment. I really need to...
Just remind me again, and for those people that's probably been asleep till this point, why are you on your third playthrough of Halo 2?
I couldn't remember the second half of the game when I first played it. I played it about a year ago. I couldn't remember, and I wanted to play Halo 3, so I thought I'd play through Halo 2 again because the campaigns aren't too long. and I was going to play it on my Series X. My Series X controllers had to go back to Microsoft because it's faulty. So I started.
Don't they know who you are?
Well, they will do. The lawyers have been in contact.
What, my mum?
Yeah. Expect Spencer gone by the end of the week.
Well, you didn't like that Ryan character at PlayStation. You got rid of him. So
yeah, exactly. So I started it again on the original Xbox, but then I got a 360 Hyperkin controller, wide one for my Series X, which is actually a really, really good controller. $15. It's a brilliant controller. So then I started again because I wanted to see what it's like on the upgraded version, Master Chief Collection plan for the Series X, which actually does look stunning through that. It runs so well. It looks really good way to play. So yeah, I've been playing back through there. So hence I restarted it 2 more times. So yeah, I'm going to get through it on there. Then hopefully start Halo 3. What about you, George? What are you going to be playing?
No, I don't care about what I'm doing. Bobby, what are you playing?
I want to try to finish Nun Massacre.
Oh.
I have a couple more things to do or die in unique ways, I guess. And that'll be done. Then I have a bunch more horror games I plan to get into from Puppet Combo, sorry. Should I read them off or just you don't care?
List them off. No, if I don't care, someone out there listening is going to care. They're going to sit up and go, Bob is my guy and I love horror games too. Let's bond through the mutual understanding of what he's got in his stack of to-play games.
I have Murder House. I have Christmas Massacre. Stay Out of the House. Night at the Gates of Hell. And No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. I bought them all.
Wow.
Those are all the Puppet Combo games that were released on console.
Are they sort of shorter games, Bobby? Or?
Yeah, they're not that long. Maybe 5 hours or whatever. But for the sale price, I thought it was fine. Not all of them are exactly the same. Like what you call it? The game I just said it. Oh, Blood Wash wasn't exactly the same as Nun Massacre. So I'm hoping they're all a little different, even though they kind of have the same exact style of gameplay. So we'll see that. And then I bought not my first X-rated game, but I bought an X-rated game on the Switch.
What's this
Perky
called?
Little Things.
Oh, you were talking about that in the Discord.
Yep. So I have a few emulated games from, adult rated games are not that good. Like I wouldn't say Leisure Suit Larry is that heavily, this game is, there's full-blown nudity in this game.
What's it called?
Which is wild for an Nintendo. Oh yeah, it's male, female, full-blown. There's full-blown acts of lovemaking.
Stop teasing me, Bobby. What's it called?
Perky Little Things. So I decided to get the physical edition, because I'm a physical kind of guy. And this came with a little artwork booklet. So I just thought I looked at the booklet, it's all, nude pictures, and they made it very clear that all models are 18 and up, which is very important. So I thought, okay, it's just a nude book because the game won't have the nudity. No problem. I put the game on. Oh boy. There is nudity happening. So basically, it's a hidden picture game. You got to find. Yeah, so here's what happens. I swear to God, that's what happens. You have to find certain items in the game. And it's a still picture, but things are moving all the time. It could be a person's tailcoat from a jacket, or it could be act of love. And you find a hidden item, and then you have to, whatever hidden item you find can be used to assist somebody in their dilemma. Okay. So once you find that hidden item, you give it to somebody else, and then something happens, which is, I think it's funny because I have a mind of a 16-year-old, and I laughed at it a lot. I don't know how many. I mean, this is probably a one-off game because you're probably not going to play this again once you're done. I don't know how many levels there are. But I played 3 levels when Eva was playing Dreamlight Valley. I chuckled to myself. She thinks I'm stupid, but that's nothing new. So I'll just probably knock those out
Literally.
You know.
Okay, not that anyone's super mildly
Also,
interested.
it's my
whoa, wait.
Sorry, it's my first English game I ever purchased. I didn't know the Switch was region free.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh.
Peggy 18 on the box.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was upset. I'm like, oh man, it's not gonna work. But no, it works just fine. It just played, which is pretty cool.
You can't make a handheld that you take to all different countries region locked, can you? That'd be a bit mean.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. So I mean, it's good for on the go. It's good for a bathroom break. Right up your alley.
George is gone.
Yeah.
Right up your alley.
Yeah. You can zoom in and zoom out. It's
As an advert, normally we try and hit the journalism hard. I felt like the news maybe let us down. Normally we like cutting edge opinions on what we've been playing, and this week is the week I come out of the gates and ask people to subscribe, even more specifically ask people to join an early adopters program.
Yeah.
This is not representative of the final product. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no. But I mean, listen, we talk about all types of the gaming, so this is something unique. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely unique.
This will be held up on the Discord as a steaming example of the Oddcast.
Yeah.
An official controller Oddcast. What am I hoping to play? I'm hoping to dabble a little bit in Last of Us. I'm hoping to get stuck into Yakuza. I'm hoping to get stuck into, or Like a Dragon, as it's now more colloquially known. And maybe just get into something on the Switch. But every time I turn it on, I click on Wrestling Empire, and then 6 hours later, I think, probably ought to have played another game. But that's my own personal obsession. Absolutely loving that, and the updates that Matt's bringing to the game. Fantastic. So yeah, I can't really say much more about that. That probably brings us to an end of what we're hoping to play. And gentlemen, is there anything that you want to leave as an aside? Maybe something to help clean up this mess we've left on someone's doormat?
Just to reiterate, to say thanks to the community again.
And subscribe.
Yeah, no, it makes you realise when you meet the guys how lucky we are.
We are.
To have people like that behind us, and great people from all different backgrounds, from all different gaming genres they love, all different hobbies, and that's just great when we all get together. So yeah, cheers everyone who listens, to downloads, to follows us. Yeah, just to say,
I don't want to be controversial here, but I did get a voice message off Bada Binkster.
Mm-hmm.
He's put his back out because you commanded him to carry him around basically you wanted to be like Master Blaster from Mad Max 3.
That's right, yeah.
And he had to carry you around on his shoulders all day. And he left a message as like, Judge, I did this and put my back out. I can't understand. Oh, right. Okay. No problem. So,
Well, I thought the Sting donated a wheelchair for him temporarily.
Yeah. Well, Sting did that, but to you, it looked like a chair. To RGT, it looked like a small moped.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It was one of those gifts from Stingray.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
It wasn't probably the best. In fact, no.
Steady.
Well, I would say that's all we have time for this week. Listeners, always thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial control. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, gentlemen.
It's out.
Laters.